I just wanted to make those statements from a regulatory perspective, that we have a very low level of confidence in saying that, we can say that these vaccines, that the benefits outweigh the risks with the amount of data that we currently have. Thanks.
Dr. Hoeg, you're an expert in regulatory affairs and clinical research and epidemiology.
That's correct. Yes, I'm a physician and I have a PhD in epidemiology and public health.
Yes. If one was to design a trial to detect an adverse event that would occur at a rate of 1 in 1,000, what would have to be the size of the treated group with the experimental product to reliably detect an adverse event at 1 in 1,000?
At 1 in 1,000, I mean, we're talking, you'd need to have at least tens of thousands. It depends on,
So the rule of thumb, as a vaccinologist, I've been taught the rule of thumb is we have to have at least 3,000 in the treated group to reliably detect an AE at 1 in 1,000. So do we have any of these, any trial data of that size that would detect an AE of 1 in 1,000?
No, we don't.
Okay, good. Do we have any trial data of sufficient size to detect an AE that would occur at, let's say, 1 in 100?
Well, so we don't have any placebo-controlled randomized trials.
So we don't have any trial data that would allow us to reliably detect a adverse event that would occur at the rate of even 1 in 100.
Well, if we're comparing to other vaccines, that's the problem here. We really need a placebo-controlled randomized clinical trial.
One that would be fairly substantial if we're to detect.
Because this is a very, if we're talking about giving a universal, birth dose, a universal recommendation, and we're talking about an extremely low risk situation for most babies, so babies who are born without high risk factors, without a mother who's surface antigen positive, without a family member who has hepatitis B, for these babies, the potential for benefit is so low, and then you're trying to, and then you need to detect a signal, a safety signal, a serious safety signal at that rate that is so tiny. You would need an enormous trial, and we don't even have any randomized placebo-controlled trials. So, we're really in a situation where we should have more humility and say, why are we stating that it is absolutely necessary to give this dose at birth, especially when high-income nations throughout the world are not giving this hepatitis B vaccine at birth?